What's good, guys? It's Mo here and you are back watching Hoop Genius. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button down below. Today we are going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers point guard Lonzo Ball. With all the talk about beefing with Donald Trump, moving to Lithuania and even bottled water, it's easy for people to get swept up in the hype around the Ball family and not judge Lonzo on his performance on it. Since being drafted second by the Lakers last season in the draft, Lonzo has shown the obvious mistakes that rookies make when they come to the league, but he's also shown flashes of brilliance. Last Saturday against the San Antonio Spurs, Lonzo came up huge for his team, hitting 3 clutch 3-pointers in the final few minutes of the game, and finished with a stat line: 18 points, 11 assists, and 7 rebounds. Since his return from injury, the rookie point guard has been averaging 11.6 points, 7.1 assists, and 7.7 rebounds per game, while shooting 45.2% from the field and 44.1% from downtown. With only 40 professional games under his belt, it's not a far cry to be saying that at some point in the future, we could see Lonzo averaging a triple-double on a nightly basis. Whilst it may be the flashy assists that make the highlight reels, Lonzo's been flying under the radar on the defensive end. The other day I was scrolling down my timeline and I saw this tweet, which made me want to dive deeper into the numbers to find out if Lonzo really is the best point guard on the defensive end. Coming out of college, Lonzo wasn't expected to be anywhere close to having this sort of impact on the defensive side of the ball. NBADraft.net said this about his defense. Taking a look at his defensive numbers, Lonzo is right up there with the best of them. He averages 2.7 deflections per game, which is slightly behind notoriously good defenders such as Marcus Smart and Draymond Green, who average 2.8 and 2.9 deflections per game respectively. When we dive deeper into the more advanced numbers, we can also see signs of Lonzo being at least in the top 5 defensive point guards in the league. Defensive win shares are a metric that estimates the number of wins a player produces for his team due to his defensive ability. Out of all point guards averaging 20 plus minutes per game, Lonzo Ball ranks 3rd. He also ranks 3rd in defensive real plus minus, which is a player's estimated on-court impact on team defensive performance, measured in points allowed per 100 defensive possessions. A team's defensive rating is the number of points allowed per 100 possessions by a team. Whilst the Lakers have Lonzo on the floor, their defensive rating is 102, yet when he sat on the bench it rises to 108.1. While statistics are all well and good, let's take a look at what Lonzo actually does on the court from a technical standpoint to stop opposition scoring against him. Because he's such a good passer on the offensive side of the floor, it's easier for him to predict where the opposition wants to pass the ball when they're attacking. This means he can get into passing lanes and steal the basketball with ease. He wants to get stops on defense. We often see guys relaxing on defense so that they can save their energy for offense, but Lonzo looks like he wants to take the ball from the opposition every time down the floor. Here you can see that even though at times where he can't get past through solid screens set by the enormous Aaron Baines, he doesn't give up on the play. Instead, he hustles back and contests Kyrie. When elite players are attacking, he makes sure to defend with body position and footwork instead of reaching in with his hands. This stops him giving away unnecessary fouls. Possibly the biggest key to being a great defender is having a great defensive stance. Being lower than your opponent makes you more explosive as your center of gravity is lower, making it more difficult for the attacker to drive past you, forcing them to settle for jump shots. Lonzo's passing ability also helps encourage his teammates to play harder on defense as well. Coach Luke Walton said that the Laker guys want to get out and run in transition because they know the ball will find them, and in order to do that, you need to get steals and deflections. So, is Lonzo Ball the best defensive point guard in the league? Defensive stats can't always be relied upon because the performance of your teammate has a big bearing on your individual numbers. It's not like offense where you can break down into points and assists, etc. Defense is kind of a little bit more complicated than that, so a lot of times it comes down to the eye test. Now for me personally, I think Marcus Smart is the best defender at the one position in the league. Just the way he brings the energy and the hustle, he inspires his teammates, really gets them behind him, and it's the reason why the Celtics defense is one of the highest ranking in the NBA. Chris Paul is also a great defender, and the rookie Ben Simmons is also up there with the best of them. But given that he's almost 7 foot, he has a slight advantage. It might be a few seasons before Lonzo can get revenge on Patrick Beverley. However, you can see that Lonzo Ball is well and truly on his way to becoming one of the best defenders in the league. We want to know what you think, so hit us in the comments below and tell us, do you think Lonzo's one of the best defenders in the NBA? If not, who's your favourite? If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the page, follow us on social media, and most importantly, get buckets.